We play more music every hour, every day. Turn on, tune in. 2Country Radio, today's best country.
What's up, y'all? It's BK from Florida Georgia Line, and you're listening to 2Country Radio, baby. Crank it up.
Girl, you melt me like ice and whiskey with those blue
2Country Radio talking to Florida, Brian from Florida Georgia Line. I guess we get that out there before we even start. First time I've spoken to you, and I think we need to start right at the beginning. Florida Georgia Line is a phenomenon. It's just an incredible act, isn't it? The duo come together in university, I understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we met in Nashville, Tennessee at Belmont University. I had a third-year writing class with Tyler's roommate at the time, Jason O'Toole, and I kind of got to know him through the beginning of the semester, and he's like, I got this guy I'm living with, Tyler Hubbard, and he's a singer-songwriter. He's from Georgia. Y'all would probably get along. Y'all kind of seem like the same person but different, you know, and so we started hanging out and drinking beer and writing songs pretty much immediately after that, and moved in together. And it was pretty immediate, the connection of creativity, and it just felt like we were brothers. You know, we grew up in two different places, but we listened to the same music. We liked the same things. We liked to party the same way, and you know, just we kind of got each other and knew that this thing was probably going to be for life. We were better together than kind of doing our own thing, and we just really wanted to hit the road and see if we could make some fans, man. That we didn't really know, you know, about record deals and stuff like that. We just knew that if we had a good fan base, you know, the sky's the limit.
And so you go from university, Nashville,
yeah,
a couple of EPs, and then the first album, the debut album.
Yeah.
Again, that was the wave built then, didn't there? There's no doubt about it. That first album, number one.
Yeah.
Almost immediately. Yeah. Off the
crazy,
right out
man.
the box. And from that album, 4 singles.
Mm-hmm.
The most famous of which has got to be Cruise, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me about that song. How did you know when you were writing that song, putting it together, did you know you had like a phenomenal hit on your hands at that point?
You know what? Kind of, yeah. Not as big as it is today. It's one of those. I'm getting goosebumps kind of talking about it right now. But I remember the day we were writing it. We were at our buddy's apartment, and we were writing actually in the middle of another song, and somebody said something. You know, I want to write a feel-good song, and I literally, the original line was "Baby, you like a song," and then we ended up changing it when we got back in the studio to "Baby, you a song." But I literally sang out with the melody, "Baby, you like a song, you make me want to roll my windows down and cruise," and we were kind of just like, well, what was that? Because we were in the middle of writing another song that was, you know, kind of slow and serious, and then just through kind of hanging out and talking in the middle of that got thrown out, and we literally wrote the kind of the rough draft of Cruise in 20-25 minutes. You know, a couple weeks went by, maybe a couple months went by, got back in the studio with Joey Moy, and he just really challenged us to push. You know, he said the guts are there, and you know, of the song, it felt really good, and we all knew it was way different. It was unlike anything we had written. You could just tell. I made this little work tape and brought it over to Tyler's house that night, and we were just freaking out about this song, listened to it 100 times, and once we got in the studio, man, it was kind of game over, getting in there with Joey Moy, who's just a wizard, a creative genius, you know, and just tightened it up, man, added a bridge, changed a couple lyrics, and made it 100% Tyler and I. And I think, you know, doing that, it made it 100% our fans, because there's something special, the connection that Tyler and I have, and I think being transparent with our lives and our lyrics through our music, our fans just want to connect with that. So we're all about a good time, man, and that first single kind of opened the door for us, man. It just, who doesn't love rolling their windows down and cruise, you know?
It's one of those songs, isn't it? And you know, okay, you know, got a hit on your hands. It goes into the charts. It makes number one, and it just stayed there and stayed there, didn't it? At what point did you think, we're going to break a 50-year record here? We're going to stay at number one for the rest of the year, basically.
Yeah, I don't know if we knew that was going to happen until I think it did. I remember we were on the Country Throwdown tour the summer of 2012. And I was calling my parents just about every week with an update saying, y'all aren't going to believe this, but we didn't have a record deal this time, but Cruise is selling 10,000 this week. I call them the next week. It sold 14,000, 26,000. whatever. I mean, it was literally going up every single week, and we didn't have a record deal at this point. And then once we signed a record deal, it was like, y'all are really not gonna believe what this thing's selling. It's just a testament to our fans, man. It's crazy. We're very, very, committed to our fan base, and trying to, stay as in tune with them as we can.
Can you remember where you were when you heard that the tune had broken the record? The record set in 1955. Can you remember when you heard it?
I don't remember where I couldn't tell you. I know the feeling I had when we heard that, but I couldn't tell you where I was. It was that time of our life was absolutely a whirlwind. It was a million miles an hour, and I'm having an easier time remembering it now, kind of going back, as weird as that sounds. In the middle of it, it's kind of a fog, kind of a haze, because we didn't really slow down or stop for a couple years, but it's an amazing feeling.
Okay, then we come on to the second album, and let's talk about Dirt, because actually we were talking on the way up here, and it's kind of, that I think was my favourite track of last year, and I think part of that is because it startled me.
Yeah,
because it was suddenly, it's gone from the feel-good, happy tunes to something just a little more serious, a little more trad country almost. So,
yeah, absolutely. We've always just tried to stay outside the box, and when people think we're going to do one thing, we've always wanted to do another thing, and that was the big question: how are we going to follow up Cruise and the record Here's to the Good Times? And Cruise put us on the map, and once we heard Dirt, we knew that was the song that was going to keep us on the map. And it literally it changed our lives. That song we didn't write. It felt like we did some of our best friends wrote it. It took them 3 different days to write it, and you can tell, man, they put their heart and soul into that. And we've always said from day one, if we're going to cut an outside song, it's got to be like we wrote it. It's got to be like we were in the room. We wouldn't have changed a thing. And I grew up playing baseball, played baseball through college. Tyler rides dirt bikes. We grew up outside, everything outdoors. So a lot of life-changing events have happened on some amazing, dirt. So I think our fans, again, that's one of those things, we felt the connection, and we knew that our fans were going to feel that connection.
Is that one line, makes you want to put 10% down? It's just it sunk in almost immediately.
Yeah.
And has stayed with me ever since. It's still one of those tracks that if I need to put something on the player, it's going to go in.
Yeah, and more importantly too, it really took our live show to a place that we've never had. We call it every night, taking everybody to church, and that's what it is, man. It's sometimes hard to sing that song because you can see people just living that song out. They're not just singing it; they're living it out, and it's real special. We do a kind of a vocal sing-along thing at the end of it after it's over, and me and Tyler and Dan will just do our 3 parts on it. And sometimes it's hard to sing, man, because it sounds so good, and you see everybody singing, and it's just a spiritual song. It really is. Yeah,
and you have a spiritual background.
Absolutely.
You met through a worship group, did you not? I think
we met in college, but Tyler and I both in high school got our start playing in church. Okay. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So we're going to hear that song over the weekend.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. Okay, you've been on this whirlwind. You've now sold 20-odd million tracks, I think.
I'm not sure the number.
It's a huge, it doesn't surprise me, because every time we turn the radio on, every time I put a show together, there's going to be a Florida Georgia Line track somewhere in it. So,
Thank you.
But how awesome is that? You kind of, at what point do you start feeling like a star?
Man, I tell you what, one of the coolest things, I think Tyler would agree, it's not so much, I think, the success of the music. It's definitely cool to feel that people appreciate it, and the awards that have happened and the records that we've broken. It's extremely humbling. But at the end of the day, when I lay my head down, and I've got my wife, who is amazing, next to me, and we got our dogs. That's the coolest thing, man. It really is, the simple little thing. We got a little piece of land, and yeah, man, that's cool. We love playing music. We love playing our country music and traveling the world. And our fans, man, they're what keep us going. They've been so loyal. No matter what anybody says about us, our real fans always got our back, and it's really, really special to know that.
And I'm guessing everybody knows you're.
So I think those things combined, not just the success, but having a good lady next to me, and best friend Tyler, who I can do life and do music with, man, it's unreal.
That feeling comes across all of the time, and it's kind of. Is it the Dirt campaign?
Yeah.
It's kind of that pay pay it back time, isn't it? Kind of almost.
Absolutely. We had this vision, right when we heard Dirt. We had both recently just bought houses and had these amazing girls in our lives, and it was the right time to start. We always wanted to give back, but we didn't know how, we didn't know when, and it just had this vision. Let's buy somebody a house, and then we teamed up with Habitat for Humanity and realized we could do way more than just one house. We could help low-income families build a whole bunch of houses, many houses, and the Dirt campaign changed a lot of lives. It's really, really special, man. Our fathers and our families both set great examples of how to work hard and give back. And I think it's just ingrained in us. I think it's in our blood. I think it's country music to be a part of stuff like that. So we're going to continue to do, movements like that touch people's lives. And man, it feels good to give back too, man. To change somebody's day or anything that we can do. We've been beyond blessed. So it's very special.
It's really nice to hear about it. That's for sure. Talking about touring, you're in the UK doing the Country to Country Festival, and we'll be seeing you at the weekend. Really, really looking forward to that, man. But you then, the tour continues.
Oh yeah.
And so back to the States.
Yeah, we're going back to. We're actually go to Dublin, Ireland on Sunday, which will be awesome. Then we go back to the States, and all year long, I think until October, Anything Goes tour goes, and we're going to be starting recording record through. We've been writing. Pretty much since we released Here's to the Good Times, we've been writing. Anything Goes and Here's to the Good Times. We just nonstop writing. I think the thing for us, we want to stay creative. I think that's the main goal. We don't want to lose relevancy. We want to stay on our game and stay in tune with our fans, like I said, and continue to push the boundaries and create great country music. Pushing the Boundaries, most recent single, I think is Sundays. Certainly here in the UK, it's number 6 at the moment. Something like that. Cool. And it's influenced reggae. Yeah, it's got a little reggae in there, man. We love all sorts of music, and I remember sitting. This is a crazy story. I was sitting on the toilet when we were on the tour with Nelly, our ballpark tour. We did a summer tour with him. Woke up one Sunday morning, wasn't feeling too hot. I was sitting on the toilet, and I texted in my phone, all I want to do today is wear my favorite shades and get stoned. And who'd have thought that'd be all over the radio, man? It's crazy what. and that's and like I said, staying creative. That's what that means. Is Tyler and I always try to, whether it's a line, a hook, a melody, always have your phone out, man, and a voice memo. You can sing something or write something down, and you never know where a song's going to come from, but you got to be ready for it. Is that the recording process for you? It's kind of it's record onto the phone and then take it into. Really, you never know, man. That's the thing about songwriting, and the addicting thing is you never know where it's going to come from, because, we've literally had a track that's, somewhat done, and you can just get up on the mic and start singing stuff, and we'll be writing as we go, and hey, sing this line, and it can go really quick, or there's no track. You're writing with just a guitar, and you start with a melody or just a title. It's all different. They're all special. They're all our little babies, in one way or another. And you've written some great songs that other people have recorded. Jason Aldean springs to mind, sort of his most recent song. Mm-hmm. Chase Rice, I understand, is a good friend of yours, mm-hmm. And his Dirt Road Communion is his tune. Yeah, you had a hand in that one. You're looking surprised that I know that. Yeah, I was actually really surprised. I was like, damn, that's cool. It's a terrific track. Thank you very much, man. Yeah. How do you decide which ones to keep and which ones to, not allow, but which ones to sort of would suit somebody else better? Yeah, that's a good question. I guess Tyler and I have always just kind of, had a gut feeling on which ones were us. I don't know what it is about certain songs that we can love, but they're just not Florida Georgia Line. They're Florida Georgia Line written and maybe influenced, whatever. But I couldn't tell you. It's a weird thing how we just kind of know, and sometimes like Cole Swindell, maybe you're not familiar with him. He's one of our buddies he's had some success in the States. We wrote a song, Hope You Get Lonely Tonight, and we wrote it with him, and once we were writing it, he kind of started started singing the chorus. Once we had it, we're like, oh, this is your song, dude. I mean, it was just immediate. Once we heard his voice on it, it was like, that's totally you. And he knew it, we all knew it, and I think the songs go on little journeys. You never know. Burning It Down for Jason Aldean was one that kind of sat around for probably a year and a half that we were listening to. We were listening to that demo nonstop. We loved it. And we were in the process of recording a deluxe edition of our album, and it didn't make that. And I just had this idea. I was on the elliptical at the gym one day. I texted our manager. I said, hey, I think Jason would crush Burning It Down. If you don't mind just sending it to his producer. And I think he put it on hold that day. And that's a classic case of the right song ending up with the right artist, man. I mean, his vocal shines on that. The track is fresh. And it was really cool to be on tour with him and see his fans go nuts over that song. Very humbling. It's very special.
And your fans are going to be going nuts at this weekend. There's no doubt about that. It's kind of magic. We are looking forward to the magic of Florida Georgia Line.
Thank you very much.
That stage. I'm aware that we're fast running out of time here. We could spend, I guess, hours talking.
I could too, man.
But I'm aware that we have to move on. Can I just thank you for your
you.
time, and let's
Anytime,
look forward to the
man.
weekend.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, thank you.
Come see us in the States.
Continuous country favorites. This is 2Country Radio.
What's up, y'all? It's Tyler and Brian here on Florida Georgia Line.
Makes you wanna build a 10% down white picket fence house on this dirt.
2Country Radio. Today's best country.